So we're going to start with the Miracle-Gro Breath. So let's go ahead and make a really slumpy, like you're sitting at a desk or you're sitting on a chair and you got the hunched back, maybe like you've been looking at a phone. I made myself tired doing that. Just sitting. And what we're going to do is over the course of the next 3 breaths, we're going to slowly straighten ourselves up. And by the end of the 3rd breath, you're going to be sitting up nice and straight, okay? So let's go ahead and just like really sink down into it. Awesome. All right. So we're going to breathe in and get a little straighter. Breathe in. Pause at the top and release. So you should be a little bit straighter. Let's straighten up a little more. Breathe in and release. One more time, all the way straight. Breathing in and release. Excellent. Let's actually do that one more time. You get the gist. That was our practice round. Let's do it for real this time. Nice and slumped over the course of 3 breaths. You're going to straighten yourself up. Let's go ahead and breathe in. 1/3 of the way there. Breathing out. Awesome. Breathing in. Not quite there yet. And release. Last one. And release. We call that the Miracle-Gro Breath because if you're ever gardening and you want to give your plants some fertilizer, there's a brand called Miracle-Gro, and that comes in like a liquid. There's like powder. You put that on your plants and it makes them like woohoo. So that's kind of what we're doing is when we're taking these nice deep breaths, it's like we're straightening a plant up that's wilting over. So if you ever find yourself kind of wilting, Miracle-Gro Breath that junk and you will be nice and straight. Excellent. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a mindful activity called weather report. So what we're going to do is sometimes it's kind of meh to say, how are you feeling right now? And you're like, I don't really know. So instead, we're going to look inward at what's going on inside ourselves right now and imagine that it's kind of like weather. So you've seen weather before, but you can have sunny days, not a cloud in the sky, overcast, snow, thunderstorms, maybe dreary rain, freezing cold, way too hot, weather where it's like Georgia weather, where 15 minutes it's one way and then the next 15 minutes it's different. And so that's kind of what we're looking at. So instead of saying, I feel this today, I want you to think about what you're feeling right now. And you're welcome to close your eyes. You don't have to. But let's just take a moment to imagine our feelings as weather and just noticing what weather we've got going on inside us right now. If you close your eyes, you can open them back up again. And if you're just now joining us, we are looking inside ourselves to assess. We're doing a weather report. So instead of saying, what do I feel? We're looking inside and imagining our feelings like they're weather. So I'm going to share mine. Of course, you don't have to. And if you're watching this video later, it's, just for you to know, but it's a helpful way of kind of assessing where you are. So I'll share mine and be a little vulnerable. My weather is like it's a clear day, but you can see like dark clouds on the horizon, like a storm's approaching. That's how I feel. And I know that I feel that way. That makes sense to me because I'm really stressed and there's some stuff coming up that's making me nervous. So I can see that in myself, in the distance, dark clouds, because I feel like there's a storm coming. And that makes me a little bit like on edge. So that's my weather for the day. If you want, you're welcome to share your weather in the chat. And like I said, that can be, minute to minute, it can change. But, or if you feel okay, you're like, okay, it's sunny, but maybe there's some clouds. That's how that goes. It's just a helpful tool for us to gauge how we feel. Because some of these words, like I feel apprehensive, that's a big word. And not only is it a big word, because I believe you guys can know big words, but it may be hard to pet it down. I think for a lot of you guys, it's like, I'll ask you how you are. You say, I'm tired. Like, okay, that's not really a feeling, but I get it. You could be feeling like, you know, burnt out, but you may not have that language available to you. It's nice to have the weather as an option. So if you want, feel free to share your weather in the chat. So I shared mine. What we're going to do now is just some basic little stretches, okay? This is because it's right at the time of day that I'm about to fall asleep, and this is a good way to kind of wake ourselves up. So just reviewing in my head what we've got going on. Great. Okay, so if you are able, we're going to be doing a little warrior series. I'm going to tilt my screen a little bit. I've got my little cardigan on because it's cold. If you're able to, you're going to take a nice big step out to the side into kind of a lunge. We're going to be doing some warrior pose. So your knees should be stacked above the ankle. Your foot is turned inwards. Your hips are turned diagonally this way. Sweep the hands up, warrior one. Let's sit here for a second, just taking notice of your body. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, this is the first time I've done any kind of like physical movement or exercise or stretching for the day, and I can feel it. I have tension in my back. And so that also means if you're feeling something in your back, engage your core, have your abs help your back out. So let's sit here for a second and just sit in warrior pose. If you had some clouds in your weather, this will hopefully move some of those clouds out. Awesome. While you're sitting here in this nice strong lunge, we're going to move into humble warrior. So take your hands behind your back. You're going to press them down like you're in handcuffs. It's the best way I can describe it. And then fold forward to where your torso is almost laying on your leg, like so. Perfect. Don't hyperextend the elbows. Keep the shoulders back, pressing the hands down. Awesome. And just be looking at the ground. You don't have to have tension in your neck. Just holding the humble warrior is what this is called. It's like a warrior taking a bow. Awesome. Release the hands, coming back up. So you were in warrior one. Let's go back there again. Now we're going to shift our bodies, opening up our arms and sinking down into the pose. Your hips are now facing more towards the screen. Warrior two, you're looking out over your front arm. Excellent. Perfect. Coming up, straightening the leg out. Bring your hand down to the ground. And if you want, you can lift that leg up off the ground. You don't have to. You could just lean and come back. Perfect. Always in yoga, you know how it is. Same thing, other side. Gonna check the chat for a second. We're good. So, coming into your mountain pose, take a nice step into a lunge. Bring the knee to where it's stacked over the ankle. Perfect. This foot's turned inward a bit. Sweep the hands up. Nice, strong warrior pose. Broadening the shoulders like you're grabbing a giant beach ball. Wrap the pinkies forward towards the room, the front of the room. And just sit here for a second, taking inventory. How does it feel to be doing this right now? How does it feel to move your body? I can go ahead and tell you. There's a saying in yoga, which we're doing a little yoga right now, that the pose begins when you want to get out of it. Basically means that's where you're doing the work. When it starts to get uncomfortable, not painful, but uncomfortable, that's when your body is doing the work, breaking down muscles in order to rebuild them stronger. Excellent. You remember we're doing the humble warrior, so you're going to take your hands, interlocking your fingers, nice straight back, and just fold over that front knee. Again, we're not hyperextending the elbows, keeping those hands pressed back and away. And no tension in the head. If you need to adjust your lunge a little bit, you can widen it if you're feeling like you're off balance, or you can shorten it if that helps as well. Let's hang out here for a sec. Check in with your breathing. Ooh, I feel this one. All right, straighten out that leg. Bring yourself back into warrior one, then open it up for warrior two. Parallel arms, looking out over the front arm. Notice your lunge. Knees should be stacked over the ankle, but not beyond it. Awesome. This is where we can straighten that front leg. And if you want, you can just lean down. If it's accessible to you, you can lift up the back leg for half moon. Go ahead and bring that leg back. Walk your feet in. Maybe shake the legs out if that feels good to you. That kind of hurts. Like I said, that was my first stretching of the day. So that was intense, but thank you for doing it with me. Great. So take a moment, just notice your breath really quick. See where you are right now. You might notice that, and this is just important to learn about yourself, when you're feeling any kind of stress, are you a person that breathes rapidly, like starts to kind of like, or do you hold your breath? I'm a breath holder. So if I get stressed out, I'm like, that's not good, because we do need to breathe. That's important. And the hyperventilating type breath, it's helpful, not hyperventilating, I was exaggerating, but when you start to breathe really quickly, that's helpful because, again, in our caveman programming, it's like getting you ready to like fight off the tiger. But when you're really stressed out about like schoolwork, you can't really punch your schoolwork, or you really shouldn't. So what we do is, by controlling our breath, we send a message to our brain, which then communicates back down to our body that we can calm down, that we can relax. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little short body scan meditation. Just again, we're looking inward a lot today, seeing what's going on inside weather-wise, and then we're going to do a little body scan meditation. So if you're not a person who likes to close their eyes, if that isn't very available to you, that's totally fine. All I ask is that maybe you gaze downwards, or you put your gaze on something where you're not going to get distracted. And let's just sit for a second, put on your mindful posture. That would be sitting in a comfortable seat, but not in a place where you're going to sleep. Just reclined at ease. And that can be really difficult to get into. You know, it can be really difficult to just switch gears at the end of the day and be able to go, okay, I'm going to meditate now. But just try it. See if we can access that. First thing we're going to do is we're not going to change anything about ourselves. We're just sitting mindfully. I always want you to watch right now where your mind is going. Where are your thoughts right now? And now bring them back. Now let's take a couple of breaths together. I'm going to count them. I want you to breathe in with me, okay? Go ahead, breathe in, 2, 3, retain, and release, 2, 3. Let's extend the exhale, breathing in, 2, 3, retain your breath, and release, 2, 3, 4. One more of those, breathing in, 2, 3, hold the breath, and release, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Continue breathing on your own. Nice, slow pace, like you're slowing down, like you're getting ready to go to sleep, but not quite. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine that there is golden light. And almost like you're a vessel, like you're a pitcher, we're going to pour this bright golden light into your body. And it's going to start to fill up at your feet. And you'll notice that your feet start to feel kind of warm, tingly, that they start to feel kind of this warm, fuzzy feeling. And any tension that you're holding in your feet releases. Notice now that we're filling up, and this golden, rich, beautiful, bright light is filling up now, up your calves and up your legs. It feels warm, it feels relaxing, and any tension in those muscles is released. Anything you're holding is released. Noticing now your hips, your back, your stomach, all of that is now filled with this golden light. And if there's any tension there, it is released. It is removed. Instead, it is replaced with warmth and with relaxation. And now filling up your chest, your lungs, up to the neck. And as you breathe in, you can feel the air warmed by this golden light. Like you're breathing in this rich, warm goodness and breathing out whatever negativity was left behind. Notice now how the golden light starts to spill down your arms and into your hands to where you are feeling warm now in your arms and hands, almost like you're giving a nice warm hug. And your attention is now on your fingers, on your hands. And you notice any tension, anything you're grabbing onto is just released. Your hands are just laying there with the weight of themselves, feeling warm and feeling at ease. Now you're noticing this liquid sunlight filling up all the way to the top of your head. And any tension, any holding on to that you're doing in your face is relaxed. All the yucky stuff, there's no room for it in your mind. It is only replaced with warmth, with this golden light. And now you look inward and you see that your entire body is filled with this warm, glowing light, golden and perfect and beautiful. So that you feel warm all over, like you're being given a hug or like you're inside a warm blanket, feeling safe, feeling loved, feeling full of goodness. Let's just take a moment to sit with that. Feel yourself surrendering to the safety and the warmth of the golden light within. Bringing your awareness now away from the image of golden light and back into this reality where you find yourself seated. But don't exit yet. Just sit and notice where you are right now. Just for one more moment, let's just be. No one's asking anything of you right now. You don't have to be anywhere or do anything. Just be. Notice where your mind goes. Lovingly bring it back to your breath when it wanders. when you're ready, you can begin to bring some awareness back to your body, maybe moving your fingers and toes, beginning to bring yourself back into this space. If your eyes were closed, opening them and bringing your gaze back to the screen. Taking one more breath together. And returning to full awareness here. I hope that was helpful. I hope that brought you some peace, some relaxation. It's just one of many different types of meditations out there. There are many, many types. This one was a body scan, but I think it's more interesting than just bringing awareness from one part of the body to the next, because there's this image of being filled up with something warm. Really cool. I'm freezing right now outside. It is pretty chilly, but as I was imagining this warm light filling up my body, I didn't feel as cold in that moment. It was really fascinating. So your mind has powerful abilities, especially as it relates to how we perceive the sensations that we encounter. So the power of the mind. But thank you so much for coming and meditating with me, doing a little yoga. I so appreciate it.